Alright, what's up guys? PeterJaguars here again, back with the Pick'em series here for week 3. Let's hop into it. Quickly, a few notes from last week before we hop into the new picks. Finished 9-7 last week. We started strong, kind of tailed off at the end with some of the night games and afternoon ones on Sunday. Kudos to everyone who had the Jets over the Colts and commented on that one. I said I would give you credit if you had it right because I figured the Colts would win that one outright on Monday night. But they did not. Not much blocking for Andrew Luck and that stuff. And also, just to say, I do get some of my kind of upsets and bolder ones right. We did have the Redskins over the Rams last week. A lot of comments coming in. People getting upset about that one. And the Redskins were able to come out with a nice victory there. Some of the quotes I'll put up on screen right here. Not to air you guys out individually, but just to say that sometimes we get these right. And that's why we're making some of the upset picks and doing all of that stuff. And because we did finish with a winning record, that is going to bring us up to 17 and I believe 15 on the season through 2 weeks. We did have a positive record as well. So again, that wrapping challenge we had does not have to happen, but I'm going to put out the same offer for this week if we do not get a winning record. So if we don't get 9 or more wins, I will make a wrapping video sometime throughout the week about what's going wrong with my picks, but hopefully we'll be able to avoid that. And without further ado, let's get into week 3. Thursday night matchup was those Redskins taking on the Giants right here. You see the tweet on screen. We did have the Giants winning it, and we're correct with that one. So a good start to the week, 1-0. On to the all-new picks with the early kickoffs in Sunday's games. Bengals, Ravens. Notable injuries for the Ravens right now. Terrell Suggs, Rashad Perriman, Eugene Monroe. It's going to be tough for them to be fighting through those. They're 0-2 right now, and I don't think they're a bad team at all. But with some of those injuries, Cincinnati going to take advantage of having A.J. Green, Tyler Eifert, all those weapons. Even though Jimmy Smith and Will Hill have been doing pretty well, I do think the Bengals will be able to get some good points. Jeremy Hill looking healthy as well, so we are going with the Bengals. For whatever reason, I can't get these Raiders games correct. We had them winning in week 1. Derek Carr got hurt. That didn't go well. And then he came back and threw for 350 yards last week when we had them losing. So who knows what's going to happen against the Browns. I'm not really sure why they're putting in Josh McCown over Manziel when Manziel was good last week. And McCown is, 36 years old and doesn't really have any sort of future ahead of him, even if he's a little bit of a better play right now. But regardless, Amari Cooper is going to have a tough time with Joe Hayden. And one of the bigger things to note that might be underplayed is that Oakland is a West Coast team traveling to the East Coast for one of those 1 p.m. Eastern kickoffs, and that can actually be a big toll. It's their first away game as well this season, and I'm not sure if they're going to be up for it at the beginning, possibly also a little slow after that euphoric victory over the Ravens last week, so we're going with Cleveland. Since we're just getting to an AFC South matchup now, let me show you a quick look at the current standings in our division. Yep, that's right, boys. I don't know what the Colts are doing down here at 0-2. They can't keep losing. When you have Andrew Luck and some of the other pieces, weapons on offense, they should be able to win some games regardless of how mismanaged the organization is or any of that stuff. And I feel like he's got to step up at some point and really lead this team to a victory on his own. He's done it in the past. We are going to lead with Luck right now. I'd love to see the Titans win and even go to 2-1 on the year, but got to give the edge to Indy. The Rams keep going back and forth in the public eye. They were amazing after week 1's win, terrible after last Sunday's loss, and now they're taking on Pittsburgh at home in what should be a good game. I'm not really completely sold on either of these teams. Both of them who could be fringe playoff opponents or something like that, but neither is completely solid all around the board. I think St. Louis is going to do a good job getting pressure and maybe even wearing down Big Ben. Antonio Brown is going to have a great game because guess what? He can do that every single week and continue to keep that reception streak going. But St. Louis should be doing well, locking up on defense for the most part, even with Le'Veon Bell returning from suspension. And we are going to give them the nod and a win. Y'all ready for this one? Yeah, y'all ready for this one. This is what's happening. We got the freaking Jags. Let's go, boys. Coming out right now. I'm wearing my old school MJD jersey from like 7-8 years ago. This joint is so faded. I've worn it a ton of times. But anyhow, taking on the Patriots this week. We got our win against the Dolphins. Was super hyped about that one. And now I'm not really sure what's going to happen in New England. Belichick's probably got film of all of our practices over like the last 20 years, right? So, I mean, what are we going to be doing with that if they know all our plays and that stuff? So I don't know how I feel. It should be an interesting one. I'm sorry. I have to pick the Patriots. I want to pick the Jags at some point. Why can't I pick my team? That's getting ridiculous, but holla, New England. Chargers-Vikings is our next matchup. I was staring at this one for a while, trying to find some little edge for one of these teams to potentially get a victory, and I didn't find anything too substantial. I like Melvin Gordon's chances about tearing apart this defense, or at least getting some good chunks of yardage. Vikings D probably going to wear down over time, and Carlos Hyde did very well against them in week 1. But at the same time, Bridgewater was back with his normal form last weekend. Very impressive, so I don't really know where to go. This one's pretty much a 50-50. I believe the point spread is 1 or 2 in favor of either team, probably toward the Vikings because they're at home. But we are going to roll with San Diego, albeit not confidently. Someone who's been following the Saints closely recently, please tell me what happened to this team, because I don't understand it at all. Yes, Jimmy Graham left. Breeze has been a little bit hurt. He is out this week, which really dampens their chances, at least for right now. But still, are they that bad or whatever? I mean, the Bucs were horrific in week 1, at least the start, and then came in and destroyed New Orleans, really. Although there were a couple things at the end that sort of made it closer. They had control of the game the majority of the way. I don't understand it at all, but guess what? That's what's happening right now, so I can't be going with them. Panthers got to be the favorites, and they should be taking a victory. Believe it or not, the Falcons are 2-0 right now, both close wins in these early weeks. And of course, the injuries are really all the talk surrounding the Cowboys right now. Romo and Dez both out. But despite that, this is still a decent team if you think about it. Great offensive line, Joseph Randle, Terrence Williams, Jason Witten. Their defense is pretty solid. And I feel there's some legitimate backing to Dallas being able to come out with this game. They're at home. Teams supporting a backup quarterback tend to be playing very hard. Atlanta can't be riding this high for that much longer. So guess what? We're going with the Cowboys, as unlikely as it may seem to some of you guys. Maybe they'll get this dub. I'm sorry, Philadelphia, but it's not the preseason anymore. It's time to wake up and finally make something happen, because Sam Bradford is really bad right now. I don't know what happened to this dude. He's got a great arm, awesome prospect coming out of college, does alright, has some injuries. He's healthy right now. He should be performing. Chip Kelly is the genius who has this miracle offense and all the right schemes, but they still can't do anything. And I don't know if it's going to take them longer to figure this out, or if they're not that great, these trades didn't make sense, or whatever, but I can't be buying into this team right now. I really don't understand what's going on with them. Similar to the Saints, they should be performing better. Maybe Chip isn't the best guy to be trusting. Because of that, we're rolling with the Jets. A common theme that leads to rookie quarterbacks struggling is when their team's helmet in my Pick'em series breaks. Nah, I'm playing. But actually, though, something that can be a problem is when these guys get pressured, make some mistakes, and then it can pile on from there. J.J. Watt probably going to be all over Jameis Winston, so I don't really know that the Bucs will be able to get much going on offense. Mike Evans played last week, but was basically completely missing. I don't think he had a single reception, despite maybe being targeted a couple times, and the Texans are looking all right on defense, even aside from those guys. So this Bucs helmet might get torn apart a little bit more. Maybe they can follow up the Saints' victory and get some momentum going, but I've got to lean with the AFC South Tex. Carlos Hyde is a beast, man. Like, seriously, from OSU to now dominating with the Niners, this guy puts in real work. But of the defenses that can stop him, Arizona's up there, and they're looking pretty strong right now. Obviously, they played the Bears, which maybe isn't the most solid of victories, and we'll see if that actually is worth counting as too valuable later on in the season. Maybe it will be. Who knows? But I am going with Arizona. I think they're doing all right now, and I'm still not completely sure about the Niners' chances. If the Bills didn't shoot themselves in the foot repeatedly, or maybe Plexico burst, maybe it was in the leg, like... But that's what they did against the Patriots. Like, seriously, so many drop passes, penalties, missed coverages, ridiculous stuff over there. I wanted them to win that game, and they really just couldn't do it, ending up losing by 1 score, I believe it was, but falling behind in that second half. So that was a mess. But if they can tighten it up, I do feel that they have the ability to compete with pretty much any team in the league right now. Tyrod Taylor can make some great plays when he's doing well, and the Dolphins didn't look that strong against my Jags last week. They didn't have to travel too far as they are back at home, but we are going to roll with Buffalo right now. By the way, if you guys are currently enjoying this video, make sure to spike that like button. That's what we're doing with this Bears helmet right here. I'm sorry, Bears fans, but this is a rough time right now. And guess what? We're spiking that. Spike those likes as well. Let's get them up here. Show the support. Seahawks should be able to win right now. Highly favored of any team thus far this NFL season. Like 14.5 points or something with the spread. It's pretty ridiculous, but guess what? They're probably going to get a win. So maybe the Bears can bounce back later in the year, but right now they are not looking good. So it is what it is. By the way, I don't know what it is with that NFC North helmets disappearing or whatever, but we've got a little substitute in for the Lions right now because I don't know where it went. Probably spiked that one too far last week or something like that. But anyhow, big Sunday night matchup. This should be a good one right here. Manning always shows up to the primetime games, but the Lions really need a win here and would be great for them getting back on track. I don't know how they're going to do against this stout Denver defense, who is great in fantasy right now. If you guys need those fantasy Ds, so I'm sure they're owned in the majority of leagues. But anyhow, we're giving the slight edge to Denver. I'm not completely sure about this one. The night games tend to be really close and all that good stuff. And Detroit is definitely going to be playing their hearts out. But we are going to roll with Den. As we roll into the final pick, if you guys are enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe right now. Annotation going to be on screen in the corner over here, or you can hit the big red button down below. Appreciate all the support from you guys. If you want to see more predictions videos, all the Madden 16 content and good stuff, which we are still firing with. So make sure to subscribe if you're not already. In this final game, Monday Night Football, is Chiefs-Packers. To me, the Packers are one of the strongest, if not the strongest team in the NFL right now. They're at home taking on a decent Kansas City squad, but I'm not picking against Aaron Rodgers right now. Not in a game like this, which is still very important. So Packers are the pick. One last look at the winners for the week as we are wrapping up this video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more vids. Again, make sure to spike that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for tons more content. And let me know in the comments section what you think of the picks. Any predictions you guys have for this week. But anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.